Manchester United have received a double fitness boost during Wednesday's training session. The Reds were impressive in reaching the Carabao Cup fourth round with a 7-0 win against Barnsley on Tuesday night, and manager Erik ten Hag could have more options available soon. Both Mason Mount and Rasmus Hojlund trained with the group at Carrington, with the pair working hard to prove they are ready to return to action. Mount was in the starting lineup for the Premier League games against Fulham and Brighton, but was withdrawn at half-time of the away contest with the Seagulls. The midfielder had also performed well in the Community Shield encounter with Manchester City and been a dynamic presence. Mason Mount was claimed to be making good progress in his return to fitness after being ruled out after the first 2 games of the season. Earlier this week, there were reports Mount was returning to full training, and now he has been pictured doing so. Hojlund, meanwhile, has not featured in a competitive game yet this term. The Denmark striker was looking sharp in pre-season, scoring against Arsenal during the US tour, but picked up a hamstring problem in the same match. After making progress with his rehabilitation, our new number 9 will be itching to get back, with our free-flowing team scoring 10 times in our last 2 fixtures. Rasmus Hojlund expressed before pre-season how excited he was to return to action, before getting injured 15 minutes into his first match on the USA Tour. Was he just unlucky, or was he simply too over-eager? If the latter, then United will be placing a close eye on him to ensure he does not push himself too quickly. Already, it seems the club are taking that sensible approach. His original return date was penciled in as the Southampton fixture, yet this came and went without his return, as did the subsequent match against Barnsley. It's possible now both Hojlund and Mount will push to try and get into the squad to face Palace at the weekend. But with so many other options available, United do not need to take any chances. Suddenly, after a couple of wins, there is a real sense of optimism around Manchester United again. We hope it lasts, and the return of Rasmus Hojlund and Mason Mount to training has to help. Getting back the club's new number 9 and number 7 will be a significant boost for manager Erik ten Hag, who already has a selection headache after the 7-0 win over Barnsley, his biggest victory so far as United boss. Erik ten Hag said he was happy to have a selection headache, and that was before the stunning 7-0 win over Barnsley. Now, heading into this weekend's fixture with Crystal Palace, ten Hag must fit 4 attackers into 3. Anthony made his first start of the season in midweek and scored a penalty, but we did not see anything to suggest he could displace the excellent Ahmad. This weekend, Erik ten Hag has to get 4 into 3. Marcus Rashford, Amad Diallo, Alejandro Garnacho and Joshua Zirkzee at the weekend, and 3 times out of 4 in the league this season, Alejandro Garnacho has been on the bench. After he scored 2 goals and assisted 2 more in midweek, how can he possibly be left out again? Ahmad has also been sensational, and the one league game he was benched against Liverpool, it was a clear mistake. Meanwhile, now is not the time to sit Marcus Rashford out after he scored 3 goals in his last 2 matches. That's 3 wide players competing for 2 positions, but there is a way to get around this. Ten Hag was able to fit Anthony in alongside Garnacho and Rashford in midweek by selecting the Englishmen up front, leading the line. Rashford could be selected in this position again versus Crystal Palace at the expense of Joshua Zirkzee. It would be harsh on Zirkzee after his terrific display against Southampton last weekend, yet it could be the right move this weekend to keep momentum. Ten Hag has often shown favour for keeping the same system after a big win, and switching an Ahmad for Anthony aside, Rashford could keep his place leading the line. Erik ten Hag's selection dilemma has become even more complicated, in a good way. Rasmus Hojlund, Manchester United's number 9, has returned to first-team training. It's great news for United, making United's attack even more unpredictable for opponents, adding a direct goal threat. Hojlund won't be considered to start this weekend. There is no urgency to force him in when there are so many other options, but there is a chance he makes the bench. In a fortnight's time, the Dane could be up to full speed, and then it really will become tricky to get the selection choices right on a weekly basis. The return of the Europa League will certainly help. The challenge now lies in managing the attacking options. With Rashford, Garnacho, Ahmad and Zirkzee all in strong form, ten Hag has to make tough decisions. Garnacho's 2 goals and 2 assists in midweek make it difficult to justify leaving him out again, while Rashford's current scoring streak makes him almost undroppable. Hojlund's return to training adds another layer to this complexity, but with no rush to push him back, he will likely be eased into action from the bench. Ten Hag's selection headache is a positive sign for United's progress. With the Europa League looming, rotation will be key in maintaining the squad's fitness and form. For now, United fans can be optimistic, but as always in football, managing these assets carefully will be crucial to sustaining success. As fans, it's time to support the team and trust Ten Hag's decisions. Share your thoughts. How would you set up United's attack against Crystal Palace?